What it do? What it do? You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Most definitely hit that bell icon. That's a notification bell that alerts you all content that will drop to my YouTube channel. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up, the AKA the like button. YouTube appreciate that. S.L.R Media TV appreciate that. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We just hit the 4,000 mark. 4,000 subscribers plateau. We on the road to 5,000 subscribers. We on the road to 5K, 5,000 subscribers on this channel. Shout out to everybody that continues to support the channel. Continue to support this channel. One of the up and coming hottest YouTube channels on YouTube. Continue to support the channel. Also, I need everybody to go double and spin the block. Go to my second YouTube channel. We on the road to 900 subscribers on my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Sports News TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment over there. If you like the content that I do, make sure you hit that Cash App $ SRED 40. Continue to support the channel. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my future subscribers. We here. We in the building. Yo, what up, Cologne? We here. Yeah, you see it. One of your favorite series. Yeah, the War in Hip Hop. See where we at? Diddy Bop. Yeah, 50 versus Diddy. You see it. Great content. We gonna get into it. Like I said, 50 on this shit on Diddy parade right now. However, 50 wanna listen. This shit does not really make 50 even look good. It make him look like a Hey, you ever know a person that has just been scorned by another guy? It's like he took his girl, he took his baby mama, and did things to his baby mama that 50 wanted to do but couldn't do. Like provide for her and your son, and also making money off your baby mama. Something that you couldn't do. So now you're jealous. You drop the dot. It's like No fucking grown man is doing things like 50 Cent to another grown man. I mean, you understand? You had like Diddy broke or something. Resources to get you. Yeah. Hold on, say yeah. 50 did an interview. Yeah, 50 lame, bro. He lame as hell, man. He lame. I don't get it. Like why you going after another man? Bro, over a female. If you did, you want to be an asshole. And now look at you now, you're looking like a scorned victim. That's exactly how you acting, like a scorned ass victim, bro. Lame shit. I ain't even watched the doc. I can't even watch the doc because even now it even makes me look at 50 even in a worse light. I can't even watch that because how would a grown man be attacking another man? You act like he did something to your mom or something. You really that scorn over him? Basically flipping your baby mama. And you mad? Come on, Fifth. Come on, 50. You got to do better than that, bro. Come on, 50. Come on, bro. Really, Fifth? Shit crazy. Niggas will do anything when they got that bread and they scoring, right? I don't get it. Straight up. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We're going to get into this content. You know what we do. We break it down, we package it up. We're going to get into it. We're going to figure out why 50 hates Diddy so much that he had to drop a documentary to try to pretty much assassinate him. So 50's trying to assassinate Diddy through the media. Let's see how this is going to work. But we're going to get into it. We're going to break it down. We're going to get into this. The war in hip hop. 50 Cent versus Diddy. Let's get into the content. Clone said, I heard because back then he was being fruity with 50. It don't even matter, right? See, my thing is with 50 line, it ain't the fruity stuff, bro. It's not. It's the fact that he flipped your baby mama and made bread off her, and the fact that you didn't have sole custody of your son, so your son was around to see a lot of things to tell you what Puff was doing to your baby mama. That's what it is. That's the reason why I don't have no respect for 50. Because if the baby mama wasn't involved, 50 wouldn't be doing this. He wouldn't be fucking with Diddy. Since the baby mama was involved, now it's all hands on deck. Shit whack, bro. A grown ass motherfucking man, you whack as fuck, bro. 50 be the same nigga in the corner crying. Yeah. He took my girl. But you didn't want a 50? I don't care. Shut your goddamn lame ass up. Let's get into this content. Gee, you not.
It was just a question of time before 50 Cent showed up. And when he did, he came in full blast. No.
They consider a pre-existing beef, right? For 20 years, right? It's me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester. Like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time.
Hell no. Let me Run it back one more time. No,
They
no, the
consider a
fuck 50
pre-existing
did.
beef, right? For 20 years, right? It's me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me, type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's gonna say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time.
See, 50 a liar. Because first of all, if this been going on for 20 years, Puff done made millions and millions of dollars. You done made millions of dollars. Where's the beef at? Oh, you want to take me shopping? That's a lame ass excuse, 50. You ain't the only one that Puff wanted to take shopping. Puff never stopped you from making millions. So where's the beef at from 20 years? You're lying, bruh. Then you want to sit here and go on TV and lie. You did that shit because you're a scorned baby daddy. He had your baby mama flipping, tossing and turning, catching them private jets. You hearing about her going got 3,000. Yeah. If you were so busy worrying about your son, 50, you could have had your son. Well, nobody's stopping you from getting no full custody, 50. You are mad because Puff always gets the one up on you. And the ultimate one up was your baby mama. Yeah, Daphne Joy. Jane Doe. However you want to call that motherfucker. Yeah, you should have took her window shopping. She's a window shopper. Mad at me. I don't know why. Man, you's a studio gangster. Yeah. What up, Pip and Curly? Yeah. And he say, G, you to remember them. Yeah, G, you not. That's that own game. LOL, take him shot. That's funny. Yeah. Hey, you know that's a motherfucking lie. Come on, man. You think I'm gonna have beef with somebody for 20 years because he wanted to take me shopping? Man, get the fuck out of here. That lame ass excuse. I remember that. Yeah, that's why he got so mad. Yeah, baby mama. It all comes down to Puff had the baby mama. All they and it just made it made 50 look stupid as a man because you knew Puff was doing this and you had your son around it. Yeah. Oh, 50, I know your son got plenty of stories to tell when he get older. Oh, he got millions already lined up. Oh, yeah. I can imagine how many stories he got on your baby on his mama and Diddy. Yeah. And all that trauma, he's going to blame me for not being there. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Why they kept bringing shit up that happened 20 plus years ago. Yeah. 50 need to stop. Let's get on back into the content. 58 lying ass. You want to take me shopping, so I felt some type of way. Shut your motherfucking broke ass up, nigga. You should have took your ass shopping.
It was just a question of time before 50 Cent showed up. And when he did, he came in full blast. No filter, no compassion, just plain trolling. Instantly after Cassie's terrifying evidence regarding freak-off, hotel suites, baby oil, wigs, masks, and being taped without her knowledge.
Is very detailed information about what she says Sean Combs was having her participate in. And these are those freak-offs and how he would be providing her with drugs, suggesting that she take the drugs. And then she said she wanted to take the drugs for every single freak-off in order to disassociate with what was taking place. She said on the stand that she hated participating in these freak-offs. So this morning, what we've been seeing so far is this playing of the freak off. So we cannot see this, but the jurors have a privacy screen on their monitor, so they're able to see some videos as well as some still images that the government has focused on in regard to these freak-offs. For the testimony, because we do not have cameras inside a federal courtroom, we're bringing it to you and giving you some quotes from what's said inside while Cassie has been on the stand. So she has been talking about how she was detailing how Combs would recover after the freak-offs. They used IV fluids, massages, and chef-prepared meals. She also said that she depended on opiates to make her feel numb and added she had an ongoing off and on addiction to some of the drugs. So some of the testimony that she has been providing so far, she was also detailing her declining health as a result of the frequent freak-offs. She had stomach issues as well as constant UTIs. Sometimes she had to participate in the freak-offs while infected. So we've heard this theme while she has been on the stand. She was also talking about how at times when she would be in the middle of her freak-offs, she might have to vomit, and then Sean Combs would still force her to participate in the freak-offs even though she was very, very ill.
50 was already up on the internet, making jokes as if it were a stand-up special. He named Diddy Fruit Pop, mocked his hotel arrangements, and stated that the trial was more entertaining than any show on Netflix. He even shared pictures of text messages and clown faces, questioning if Jay-Z still wanted to go out with his boy.
So as you know, the Diddy trial started today, and Cassie hit the stage, and 50 Cent could not control himself. Now, you know 50 Cent and Diddy have been enemies for the longest, and 50 Cent finds every reason to poke at Diddy. But today, he got so much ammo, it don't make no sense. So, 50 Cent just posted a picture of Sean Diddy Combs' jewelry selection. It's a bunch of hymns. And he wrote the caption, "I'm not sure if this is fair, but don't worry, be happy." He's a fool. 50, you out of control for that. Then he goes on and posts this picture. "Your Honor, this theory of Cassie kicking Diddy's ass, I'm not buying it." Yo, he's AIing pictures of himself in the court. That's crazy. He also decided to hit him with this. Yo, this guy's out of control. "Diddy said in your mouth, shaking my head." Yo, Diddy. You gotta. Then he gonna post this. "Down on your luck? Not feeling good today? Well, look at the bright side. You could be Diddy. Chin up." So 50 Cent he has unlimited ammunition now, especially considering the fact that this trial might go on for who knows how long.
But here's the thing. This trial is somber beneath the humor. Cassie talked about being trafficked, videotaped, humiliated, and exploited. And 50 Cent isn't merely laughing at Diddy. He's shredding the entire industry. The silence, the pseudo-friendships, the pseudo-love. This is more than celebrity gossip. It's a reckoning. And Cassie is bringing some truly horrifying things to light.
Because the idea on the defense side is to say that Cassie Ventura was not coerced into these sexual encounters with male prostitutes under threat of violence or humiliation the way prosecutors describe, but was a willing, even eager participant in the swingers lifestyle that they say Sean Combs led.
Aaron, there was also some pretty surprising testimony today about Combs's drug use, allegations that he was addicted to opiates and at one point overdosed. What did we learn?
Well, this was part of the defense strategy, to concede that he's a drug user. Now, maybe the public didn't know the extent, but the defense was pretty frank that at one point he was addicted to opiates. At one point he flew to Mexico to try what Cassie Ventura called a plant medicine type remedy that's not legal in the United States, that the two together tried just about every drug, MDMA, ecstasy, ketamine, that the night of the now infamous freak-off in 2016 in the Los Angeles Intercontinental Hotel, where an assault was then captured on video, that maybe Combs was high on a bad batch of MDMA. But the idea here, Eva, I think, was to say that the violence from Combs was not to coerce Cassie Ventura into sex. It was the result of drugs, or, in another aspect, was the result of jealousy and her infidelity, because we also heard today, Eva, about her dating Kid Cudi and about her dating the actor Michael B. Jordan, and how that led to some pretty scary arguments, as Ventura put it, with Sean Combs.
Diddy constructed an entire empire on mystery and power. And now it's coming apart in court, in the papers, and on 50 Cent's Instagram feed. When Cassie testified, the courtroom became very quiet. No music, no strobe lights. Just her voice, steady but lethal. She spoke of being drugged, trafficked, coerced into bizarre role-playing sessions with strangers, with Diddy lurking in the background.
The prosecution's star witness taking the stand, but it was more than that. It was how Cassie took that stand. You could hear a pin drop when those doors opened, and a visibly pregnant Cassie Ventura walking past a man she had not seen in 6.5 years. A man she says violently abused her for a decade. A man the prosecution said trafficked her. Well, she sat across from him, placed her overcoat behind her, turning her body slightly toward the jury, rubbing her pregnant belly throughout her testimony. Diddy, well, he was more fidgety than he was the day before. He was passing notes. He pushed himself away from the defense table and largely sat like that. They never seemed to make eye contact with one another, not even after she was crying about having loved him once and planning and participating in these freak-off sex parties because she feared him and she wanted to make him happy, but feeling worthless, feeling disgusting because she didn't want to do it. Now, with each moment, the testimony became more and more graphic. Her delivery, though, it never changed. It was matter of fact, steady, calm. At times, she was even critical of herself, walking us all through how a 10-album record deal came over a 10-year period of abuse and sexual humiliation. And once you hear Cassie's testimony, you'll understand why the courtroom was so tense. She described the freak-offs in lurid detail. She testified about Diddy, who she called Sean, choreographing it all. And she explained a pattern of physical abuse that she could not escape. Cassie told the jury about one freak-off at a hotel where Diddy told her to get into an inflatable pool filled with warm baby oil. The prosecutor asked, "What concerns did you have about not getting into the pool with baby oil?" Cassie responded, quote, that, amongst other things, just his temper. If that is something that he wanted, Sean wanted to happen, that what was going to happen. There wasn't another way around it.
And this wasn't a one-time, two-time thing. This was a pattern. There were lights, wigs, cameras. Like a twisted music video nobody requested. And 50? He was also watching on his phone, munching popcorn, tweeting every few hours as if it were a live sporting.
$50 need to stop. That motherfucker knew the whole time. Like, come on. Like, he knew what Cassie and Diddy was doing. He knew the whole time. So don't they say, like 50 shocked, like he didn't know. But the motherfucker knew every motherfucking thing. When you rich and you got money, you can buy information on somebody. So he knew everything what they was doing. Like, come on. Like, duh. The fuck you got money for if you can't use it? Didn't Cassie want to do Cassie wanted to do it all. Put it like this. If it was so tumultuous, brutal, for 10 plus years that she was with Diddy, she could have left. She had communication. Diddy didn't put her on no fucking island with no communication or nothing. And you see Diddy flying into the island. Diddy Island. Here come Diddy flying into the island. Diddy, I haven't talked to my mom and my parents and my friends in 6 months. Could you please, or can I email them? Can I FaceTime them? I've been on this island for like a year and I have shut the fuck. Like, this motherfucker had all the communication in the world and she really wanted to get away from Diddy. Like, stop the bullshit. Stop it. Stop it. Those y'all sitting over here acting like Cassie was on fucking Diddy Island and Diddy flying in with his fucking helicopter and private jet playing let every step I take, every move I make. Yeah, like he flying in, he playing that shit loud, surround sound. We ain't going nowhere. Diddy coming off the plane doing the Diddy bop. Like, get the hell out of here. Diddy throw her the phone, like, go ahead and call your peeps. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead and take that. Go ahead. Like, fucking stop. She wanted that. She wanted everything. She wanted all the freaky shit. She wanted it all. She wanted to be the biggest. Man, I'm hearing that she wanted to be the biggest OnlyFans star before OnlyFans really jumped. She wanted to be the only, because you have to remember, Instagram profit was popping. That was the OnlyFans before OnlyFans really jumped off. And Diddy was like, no. He didn't want nobody to know. But motherfuckers knew that Cassie was doing that because people talk. Like, come on. Like, stop playing. Fuck out of here. She was brutally raped. She was brutally taking that for 10 years. No, she was brutally loving it for 10 years. She's still eating it. Eating right now. She got a husband. She got to eat that motherfucker or he going to leave her. Knowing she was eating baseball bats. Take that. Yeah. I don't feel bad for Cassie. Cassie get every motherfucking thing she fucking deserve. Everything. Because once again, I'm going to tell you this. As long as you got an open line of communication, you got a phone, internet, you're going out in public, you got every avenue anyway. If you are in distress or unhappy or in a physical, abusive, mental relationship, violently harmed, you have every opportunity to tell somebody or call 911. We don't want to hear that shit, Cassie. You had every opportunity to hit them three letters, them three numbers, 911. I don't feel bad for it, period. None of that. You wanted to eat big ones, you ate big ones, and you got affected. So, let's get back to the content. Let's get on back to the content. Yeah, let's get on back to it. Yeah, we in the building. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the live. We in the building. Hit the cash app. Turn me up. We in the building. Dropping some of my favorite series. One of our favorite series. You know what we do, that war in hip hop. You know I had to bring it back. Yeah, we in the building. 50 versus Diddy. Yeah, let's go. Where we at? Come on, say, yeah, she could have, yeah, if she wanted it. Listen, man, bro, listen. Diddy did not hold her hostage. She had every opportunity to get away. Every opportunity. But she didn't. Because she wanted that. She wanted them Subways in her mouth. She wanted them Jersey Mikes in her mouth. You understand what I'm saying? She wanted all of that. She wanted to be flipped up, turned up, upside down. She wanted to be folded up like a piece of paper. She wanted in her ear, her nose, her cheeks, her mouth. She wanted that bad. She wanted the bag. She wanted it. She wanted. Listen, Cassie was the first to go to Pound Town. Before Sexy Red bought Pound Town and made it popular, Cassie was already at Pound Town. I got to understand that. Before Sexy Red Cassie was sexy red. Get it sexy. Get it sexy. Get it Cassie. Get it Cassie. Get it Cassie. Get it Cassie. Yeah. Yeah. Cassie was sexy red before sexy red was sexy red. Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, Cassie, anytime you want to hit the live, hit it. I'm gonna tell you the same thing, Cassie. You was that. You was a trendsetter. That's a good thing. You was a trendsetter. Yeah. Let's get on back to the content. Let's get on back. Let's go.
Sporting event.
You heard what he just said, right? He's like, yo, certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. Like they would look, like he would say stuff, and it's like he wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway. Now you see so much shit that you go, wait. No, this was visible.
He was in the hallway. We saw the video.
Yeah,
we saw that video.
It comes out later. You're like, that's not the closet. That's the hallway. He didn't give a fuck. Like, you could tell that he was already.
Nah, New York is dope. Because when Fab, he was like, yo, Fab, we ain't party. Fab was like, nah, we partying tonight.
He's like, no, like, but he didn't party.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, they let that one go? Like, I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, it was
What does it feel like all these years, you being the only one calling this out?
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long
They
time.
said you're a hater. They said you're crazy.
You're do this. Yeah, and now everybody's complaining. My is hurting. This all this shit is coming.
50, you can't make jokes about it.
No.
The internet might come for you, bro.
All I'm saying
it
is,
might come from you.
You see it now. All of these complaints. People were damn, they were and pillaged. This was what was going on, right? And what do I get for the? I went through years of a hater. You're a hater. You want this and that. I'm just watching. Like I look at things and go. When you see the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay, I go, oh shoot, like. Then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing, he just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that.
Wait, do you think there's truth to the Jay thing? There's no way.
Know. Like that, look, you know what's like if you say, I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you.
But jokes weren't all. 50 began calling out others as well. He inquired, why Jay-Z still hanging around him? Then he took shots at other celebrities who remained silent. Y'all knew what was going on, he posted. Y'all just ain't care till the receipts dropped. Jay-Z has been rumored to be involved in Diddy's activities.
And a federal judge has ruled the woman alleging she was raped by Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs can remain anonymous. The woman says both men raped her at a party when she was 13 years old. Jay-Z's legal team had fought to get the case dismissed, arguing his accuser should have to reveal her name, but the judge disagreed. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
A legal victory for the woman who is suing Jay-Z for allegedly raping her when she was 13. A federal judge ruling the woman can proceed with the case while remaining anonymous, at least for now. But the judge also chastising the lawyers representing Jay-Z, accusing them of trying to fast-track the judicial process by repeatedly filing motions to reveal the identity of the Jane Doe to have the case dismissed. The judge writing in a 5-page brief that the Carter's lawyers' relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because the counsel demands it. This latest legal twist coming after the recently filed civil lawsuit by Jane Doe, claiming that Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and P. Diddy, drugged and a 13-year-old girl at an after-party after the MTV Music Awards in 2000 while an unnamed celebrity watched. Jay-Z has vehemently denied all the allegations, putting out this statement 2 weeks ago, writing in part, "This is a blackmail attempt." The multi-platinum artist, who was 30 at the time, now a business mogul with decades of hits to his name, with songs like Run This Town.
We are, yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation, pledge your allegiance.
His attorneys have denied everything about Jane Doe's account and pointed to some alleged inconsistencies in her story.
It's not just that this story is a lie and that it's not true. It's provably, demonstrably false. This never happened.
The judge writing that while Jane Doe can remain anonymous for now, she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date to allow Jay-Z's lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare for trial.
Oftentimes, when someone is accused of a crime like this, the accuser doesn't want to be named, and if they are forced to be named, we have seen certain people decide to drop the lawsuit altogether.
Morgan Norwood, thank you. And Tony Busby, the lawyer representing Jay-Z and Diddy's accuser, says in a statement to ABC News, quote, "I will say that the coordinated and desperate efforts to attack me as counsel for alleged victims are falling flat. We won't be bullied or intimidated." And we did reach out to Jay-Z and his team, but did not get a response.
The most uncivilized part? Diddy has not clapped back even once. No post, no whisper. He's just sitting in court, arms folded, as the world lights him up, and 50 takes the lead. It's as if each day another layer unwraps itself. Cassie's words rattled the courtroom, but 50 ensured the world heard them. Loudly. Because while Diddy's camp is attempting to play everything off as complicated relationships, 50's making one thing plain. Nah, you're finished, Fruit Pop, and everyone's watching you burn.
You have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right? I know
He did
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. All of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s and Keefe D said he paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
It's a little, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docuseries. They went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
Now let's talk about the real circus, the freak-off rooms.
And now we're learning about the supplies that were apparently used in the freak-offs. Again, the star witness is Cassandra Ventura. She and Diddy were in a relationship for 10 years. It ended in 2018. Cassie sued Diddy in 2023, and he settled that suit the very next day. That lawsuit was a major spark to the story that has brought us to what's playing out in court right now. This week, we heard Cassie tell her story to the jury. She says that Combs beat her, berated her, and forced her to take part in what has been called freak-offs. They're alleged drug-fueled sex parties involving escorts. Cassie said they were mentally and physically exhausting. She claimed that the freak-offs often left her with sores, UTIs, and needing IVs to recover. The jury has seen pictures of injuries from the relationship, Cassie says, like bloody lips and black eyes that she claims that Diddy gave her when they were together. The jury has also seen a video of Diddy assaulting Cassie in the hallway of an LA hotel in 2016 that was leaked to CNN. That's been seen by millions of people. That video, Cassie testified, shows her trying to escape a freak-off party. Now, the jury has also heard testimony from Cassie about the physical toll that she said freak-off parties had on her. This is an exchange from the transcript. When she was speaking with the prosecution, she said, quote, "Occasionally, I would get sores on my tongue from the freak-offs, the taking drugs, substances, and just friction in my mouth." She says that friction wasn't just from oral sex, but also from having her mouth on things covered with oil and other lubricants. The jury, we know, has seen an image from the freak-offs, but we don't know what that image really looks like. Our reporter, who has been in the courtroom every day, says it was only shown to jurors. It was not shown to those who have been sitting in the gallery. The defense, in its cross-examination, has been having Cassie read dozens of text messages that she and Combs sent to each other during their relationship. Messages like this one, trying to show that she was a willing participant in the freak-offs. Combs asks, quote, "When do you want to freak off, LOL?" And then Cassie replies, "LOL, I am just going up to change and put my ring in. I just picked it up. I'm always ready to freak off, LOL. LOL. The defense is trying to paint Combs and Ventura's relationship as one that was far more loving and consensual than Cassie's testimony.
Damn. Shit, Chicago.
Cassie's testimony presented thus far, and also proved that she wasn't forced to be part of the freak-offs, but she was a willing participant, and beyond that, she often organized them, they say. That she was the one who contacted the escorts often and put these things together.
Cassie said Diddy had a whole checklist. Nails had to be French tipped, body waxed, wigs ready. Sometimes she wore masks, other times stripper heels and leather. All this while, Diddy played director, choosing the lighting, controlling the camera angles, even handing out baby oil like it was lotion in a spa. Except this wasn't a fantasy, it was a prison.
Yeah, and that's of course makes things much more complicated because usually you try to, in the best case circumstances, you want to keep your personal life and your professional life separate. But here's an instance where it's one and the same. And so now you've got the cycle of violence where you have a violent incident, then I would assume, because that's usually how it goes, the perpetrator, Diddy in this case, would be like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Oh my gosh, the flowers, the jewelry, all the other things. I really love you. This is never going to happen again. And of course, the survivor, because they are in love with the person, continues in the relationship. And then there's a period of peace. It could be months, it could be weeks, it could be a day. It all varies based on the relationship. And again, over time, that cycle gets tighter and tighter, where more violent events start to happen in a shorter amount of time versus maybe in the beginning of the relationship where there might be a violent incident and then the next one hypothetically could be a month later. So the cycle is basically the violent event, apologies, a honeymoon period, a build-up, and then another violent incident. And so she's been testifying about how he's brutalized her, but then again, you see them out on the red carpet, you see, her with jewelry and cars and all of these things, which is basically kind of like blood contributions, right? Because he's trying to get her to stay with him and obviously not report and not tell everybody his business. And again, a lot of this we saw in terms of the lawsuit, how quickly he settled, because he knew what was all going to come out. And he knew once the public started to hear about this, this was going to be very destructive for him. And of course, the law enforcement investigation really took it over the top. So I think this is going to be very much centered on the battered person's experience and having those experts really explain to the lay person how these types of relationships work.
And 50 Cent? He took all that and turned it into meme warfare. But what made it worse were the texts. Cassie testified that Diddy would text her midday, asking if she was ready to perform. If she didn't respond quickly enough, he'd get cold, emotionless. One message read, "Who you wanna f tonight? Wanna call someone?" Cassie wasn't even thinking like that. She just wanted to be with him. But Diddy always pushed her toward others. Paid escorts. Strangers. 50 Cent took a few shots at Diddy a few months ago, implying Diddy and Jay-Z needed drugs to feel the intimacy of women.
He's seemingly around Diddy.
I don't know. That was a real suburb question.
Yeah, I know, right? Proximity.
And the proximity.
Proximity. That's the SAT hit parade word. I learned that.
Do you think he knew all of the shit that was going on? Then I was like
I don't want to incriminate myself.
I know, but the way he said it,
like I said,
no matter how you answer that shit, you snitching.
Yeah, exactly.
that was a nice kind of
You asked the question like a fan.
Hey, I grew up with white people, but one thing I know is how to get a black guy in trouble.
But it's a great question.
Yo, just give him the Happy Meal before you ask him to snitch, brother. You're not worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way, like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got that in my past.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like, not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. for her to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drink. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the this is, yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people
So
to just
for people to
acknowledge
feel
weird
like
shit is
you
weird.
would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too, this is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with that shit.
Inside the courtroom, things just keep getting darker. Cassie's testimony wasn't some emotional outburst. It was calm, steady, and brutal. She described how Diddy filmed her during sex acts with other men. Sometimes he'd watch from the corner, sometimes he'd direct it like a movie. And every time, she felt less like a person and more like a something he owned. Another witness, a male escort, backed it up. Said he was paid thousands to sleep with Cassie while Diddy watched. Said she looked terrified, like she wasn't there. He left the hotel room feeling sick. Said the whole thing felt wrong, even if no one said no.
We're also expecting Cassie Ventura to take the stand later on today, which of course is going to be very interesting testimony to listen to.
Oh, without a doubt, Kelly. As you know, she's key to this case. She really is, and her testimony could make or break things for the government and for Diddy. Tell me, just backing up for just a beat, you mentioned the witness on the stand currently, Daniel Phillip, the male escort. Starting things off yesterday, some really shocking pieces of information, as you know, came in, Kelly, about where he's detailing being asked to urinate on Cassie while Sean Combs was allegedly watching and masturbating. I'm curious if you noticed any reaction from the members of the jury when they were hearing a lot of that.
So inside the courtroom there, everyone is being told they cannot have any outbursts or anything like that or any real reactions. So inside that courtroom, no. There also, Julie, is media overflow rooms. And inside those media overflow rooms, a lot of reaction. So the public is in there as well. The public is making a lot of reactions. You hear a lot of commentary when these details are coming out. Outbursts. The security is coming over and talking to a lot of the people, telling them that they have to keep it down. But other people inside the actual courtroom for the case where that's happening, no real reaction at all. But this testimony, as you mentioned, Julie, has been graphic in nature as he talked about, for instance, being asked to urinate onto Cassie, and he said she asked him to do that. He talked about Sean Diddy Combs being in the corner.
And through it all, Diddy sat stone-faced. No reaction, no emotion. But in the room, you could feel it. The tension, the weight. Like everyone knew this wasn't going away. Not this time. Now, 50 Cent has said that Diddy really should have taken the plea deal he had on the table. After Cassie Ventura took the stand for a third day on Thursday gate, 50 had something to say about Diddy's legal moves. Meanwhile, 50 Cent didn't hold back. After hearing Ventura's latest testimony, he jumped on social media and said, "After listening to today's testimony, I think the diddler should have took the plea offer. The yes they're saying is beyond me, so what do you think?" Gene Deal thought the very same thing.
Take his counsel advice. Because if he think he's going to get out of this from the federal government, he out his mind. They in the process of plea bargaining, trying to do a plea bargain session with him, and he not taking it.
Oh, the fucking Bears don't win. That was a good game, though. That was a good game. Why can't my Carolina Panthers have a head coach like the Bears and a quarterback like the Bears? Hell, why can't they have Malik Willis? Oh my goodness, man. What a game. What a game. What a good game. The Bears. That was a good game. They would have had Jordan Love, though. Jordan Love wouldn't have got concussed, though. The Bears would have got blown out.
Bradford, his first lawyer with the Cassie situation, he said, give her the $10 million and make this go away, brother. He ended up giving her $30 million. He's not taking the lawyer's advice. 9 times out of 10, they probably got him a good plea bargain. Yo, listen to me. We can give you 15 years. 10 or 15 years. You do that, you come out, you only have to do like 12, 13. Come out to a halfway house. You still can live some of your life out as a free man.
But if Diddy didn't take the plea deal, does he think he can win this case? 50's been posting regularly about the claims Ventura's made against Diddy while on the stand. A lot of the questioning lately has been about texts and emails between her and Diddy, especially after the prosecution focused earlier in the week on those wild freak-off sex parties she described in detail. Then he brought up a shocking accusation involving Kid Cudi, referring to claims that Diddy once blew up Cudi's car because he found out Cudi was dating Ventura.
With this man you're looking at right here, Kid Cudi. She was in one of those freak-offs, and then Sean got a hold of her phone and then realized that they had been having a relationship together, and she said that that did not go over very well, to say the least. So one of the other things that defense counsel has been saying back and forth with Cassie, when Cassie is responding with things like, I can't recall, it's a long time ago. At one point, defense counsel said, yeah, it was a long time ago, and it sounds like you were doing a lot of drugs. Cassie's drug use has been front and center in this case. She readily admitting to using drugs and that she had to use drugs in order to take part in those freak-offs. We can put some full screens up on the screen for you, kind of tell you a little bit about what some of the testimony has been like today. So she did testify that her friends knew about the physical abuse because they often witnessed it. Her parents and brother knew about the abuse as well.
Do you agree with 50 Cent? Let us know in the comments.
Oh my God. I had to take drugs so I can put a Subway sandwich in my mouth. I had to take drugs so I could spread my cheeks. Shut your lying ass up. Y'all motherfuckers just be lying, putting it on drugs, all this and that. Shut your goddamn ass up, man. Ain't nobody gonna make you do something that you don't want to do. I don't give a fuck. If you're not staying in a motherfucking third world country where there's no law but one law, shut your goddamn ass up in America. I don't want to hear that shit, especially in America. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to motherfucking hear that. None at all. You one of them motherfucking Subway sandwiches. Nobody want to hear that shit, Kathy. I was on drugs. Shut your goddamn ass up. That's why they suing you now, right, Cassie? Why are the sex workers suing you now, Cassie? Huh? Yeah. You see what happened when you spread them cheeks? Yeah. I was on drugs. Druggy nuts in your mouth, Cassie.
Where I feel. This is where I feel, bruh. This somebody was sending dudes out to try to me. This somebody was sending dudes out to try to hurt me. And if he was doing that and sending dudes out on me, you don't think he was doing somebody else, other people?
Former Diddy bodyguard Gene Deal just dropped a bombshell, claiming 50 Cent's Netflix doc Diddy, The Reckoning, buried the most explosive evidence about Shakur and Biggie's tragedies. And now, he's going public with what was allegedly too dangerous to air. This isn't just another conspiracy theory. Deal says he has proof Diddy knew Shakur would be targeted at Quad Studios, ignored multiple warnings before Biggie's end, and that $1 million check ties industry insiders directly to Shakur's tragedy. So why did Netflix leave it out? Let's break this down like a detective. First, the timeline. Gene Deal, a man who worked as security for Diddy during the height of the East Coast-West Coast feud, is now saying he was cut from the documentary after offering rare footage, photos, and first-hand accounts. But here's the kicker. He claims the production team lowballed him, then ghosted him when he demanded fair pay. So what was so valuable they didn't want to pay for it? And why would 50 Cent, a man who spent years trolling Diddy, suddenly play it safe? Here's where it gets messy. The Netflix doc already paints Diddy as a man who ushered Biggie to his end by overriding security warnings and pushing him to stay in LA despite threats. But Deal's version goes further. He says Diddy wasn't just reckless, he was informed. Multiple sources, including imprisoned figure Wadsworth Unique Hall, allegedly warned Diddy's team to vest up before that fatal trip. So why did Diddy brush it off? And if Deal's telling the truth, why wouldn't 50 Cent want this in the doc? Then there's the money. Deal claims he saw Eric Zip Von Zip flashing a 7-figure check shortly after Shakur's tragedy, allegedly payment for the hit, funneled through Barry Hankerson and Jimmy Henchman.
He's saying that, Diddy, he put a hit out on you and Tupac, and that's the reason why Tupac got in Vegas. So, yeah, man. How you feel about that?
Well, first thing first. I mean, that conversation been out there. He put his truth out there. A lot of other people put their truth out there.
If true, that's not just a conspiracy. That's a paper trail. And if Netflix had this, why wouldn't they use it? Unless, of course, it was too explosive even for them. But here's the real question. If Gene Deal's version is accurate, then Diddy didn't just fail to protect his artists. He knew what was coming. And if that's the case, then the Netflix doc isn't just censored. It's a cover-up. So what else are they hiding? We know 50 Cent has been trolling Diddy for years, but this time he's playing a different game. The Netflix series Sean Combs' The Reckoning dropped on December 2nd, 2025, and it's already making waves, not just for its damning portrayal of Diddy's alleged misconduct, but for what it didn't include.
I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make up their brand.
Deal's claims suggest there's a second layer to this story, one that implicates not just Diddy, but the very people who made the documentary. And if that's true, then the question isn't just about what happened to Shakur and Biggie, it's about who's controlling the narrative now. Let's rewind to the events leading up to this. Diddy's legal troubles have been well documented. His July 2025 conviction on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prohibited activities, his 50-month prison sentence, the civil lawsuits piling up. But the Netflix doc wasn't just about his legal fallout. It was about his role in the losses of 2 of hip-hop's biggest icons. And according to Deal, the most damning evidence never made it to screen.
A lot of them, bruh, for real. They hope he get unalive some kind of way. It wouldn't be a tragedy to me. Some people deserve what they deserve. Because karma don't always hit you, bruh. Marlon Wayans don't know what he's talking about. And if you read about karma, it don't always come back to that individual.
We've heard the theories before. Diddy's alleged involvement in the Quad Studios incident, his push to keep Biggie in LA, despite the dangers, the whispers about $1 million bounty on Shakur's life. But Deal isn't just repeating rumors. He's claiming he has the receipts. Literally. A check, he says, that ties Diddy's inner circle to the tragedy. And if that's true, then the Netflix doc isn't just incomplete. It's a whitewash. But why would 50 Cent, of all people, hold back? This is the same man who spent years mocking Diddy's legal troubles, who called him a raccoon after his courtroom sketches went viral, who's made a career out of rubbing salt in wounds. So why would he suddenly get cold feet? Deal's theory? Money? Power? Fear? The kind of fear that makes a man like 50 Cent, who's never been afraid of a fight, suddenly play it safe. And then there's the footage.
Because now they see when this dude was talking with his lawyers, he'll do anything and everything and use his money to change the narrative. No matter who gets hurt.
The doc includes clips of Diddy in the days before his arrest, strategizing with his lawyers, complaining about needing hand sanitizer after touching fans in Harlem. But Deal says there's more. Footage so explosive it could rewrite the story of hip-hop's darkest era. Footage that allegedly shows Diddy's team ignoring direct warnings about Biggie's safety. Footage that could prove Diddy wasn't just negligent. He was complicit. But here's the thing. Netflix says they got their footage legally. Diddy's team says it was stolen. And Deal? He's saying the real story was never meant to see the light of day. So who's telling the truth? And more importantly, who's lying? Let's talk about the $1 million check. According to Deal, Eric Zip Von Zip was flashing it around like a trophy after Shakur's tragedy. A payment, he claims, for a job well done. The money allegedly came through Barry Hankerson and Jimmy Henchman, two names that have been tied to the darkest corners of the music industry for decades.
It's so complicated, convoluted, chaotic. It's hard to actually figure out what's what, but it's becoming clearer.
If this check exists, it's not just evidence, it's a smoking gun. And if Netflix had it, why wouldn't they use it? Unless, of course, they were told not to. We know Diddy's team has been aggressive in their legal threats. They sent a cease and desist to Netflix before the doc even dropped, calling it a shameful hit piece. They've denied the allegations, called the sources unreliable, and insisted the footage was stolen. But if Deal's telling the truth, then the real theft isn't the footage, it's the truth itself. And then there's the question of motive. Why would Diddy's team go to such lengths to suppress this? Simple. If the public found out Diddy knew Shakur was walking into a trap at Quad Studios, if they found out he ignored warnings about Biggie's safety, if they found out he was connected to $1 million payment for a hit, well, that's not just a scandal. That's a legacy destroyer. That's the kind of revelation that doesn't just end careers, it ends reputations. But here's where it gets even more complicated.
I used to be hurt because I knew the people that she had around her was Puff Boys. So we could never connect like that. So only time I tried to connect with Miss Wallace is when she needed me and she used Perry Sanders to call me.
Deal isn't just a random whistleblower. He was Diddy's bodyguard. He was there. He saw things. And if he's willing to go on record now, after all these years, then we have to ask, what changed? Did someone get to him? Or did he finally decide the truth was worth more than his silence? We also can't ignore the timing. The Netflix doc drops in December 2025, just months after Diddy's conviction. The world is already watching, already dissecting every detail of his downfall. So why hold back the most explosive evidence? Unless, of course, someone didn't want it out there. And that brings us to 50 Cent. The man who spent years trolling Diddy, who's made a fortune off controversy, who's never been afraid to throw a punch, metaphorically or otherwise. So why would he suddenly get cautious?
Without that. And then us coming up, 50 and everybody, what you make think they get bulletproof trucks for?
Deal's theory is that 50 Cent was pressured, that the powers that be, whether it's Netflix, Diddy's legal team, or someone even bigger, made it clear that some lines shouldn't be crossed. But here's the thing about 50 Cent. He's not the type to back down, not unless there's something in it for him. So what's the play? Is he saving the biggest revelation for a sequel, or is he being played? Let's not forget the bigger picture. Diddy's not just a music mogul. He's a man with connections. Connections to politicians, to law enforcement, to the kind of people who can make problems disappear. And if Deal's right, if there really is a check, if there really is footage that proves Diddy knew what was coming, then we're not just talking about a documentary. We're talking about a conspiracy.
The man put a lot of there himself. So whether it's true or it's a lie, he got to answer for that. And whatever his explanation is, we're going to see. But he said this.
And that's where we are now. A former bodyguard, a censored documentary, $1 million check, and two of the most iconic tragedies in hip-hop history. The question isn't just about what happened to Shakur.
Yeah. LOL, she was a freakinator. Yes, she was most definitely was the freakinator. She was the China of the industry.
We're not just talking about civil lawsuits or solicitation charges anymore. We're talking about conspiracy. We're talking about premeditation. We're talking about a paper trail that leads straight to the top. But here's the thing. Diddy's already in prison. So why does this matter now? Because if Deal's claims hold up, then the tragedies of Shakur and Biggie weren't just unsolved. They were orchestrated. And if that's the case, then the real question isn't just about Diddy's guilt. It's about who else was involved. Because $1 million check doesn't write itself. Someone had to sign it. Someone had to deliver it. Someone had to make sure the job got done.
Yeah, he was scared. Yes, I agree. I do agree that he was probably terrified for his life. So if that is the case, it's also quite feasible that he put up money to get Pac. You know what I mean?
And if Diddy was the one calling the shots, then who was pulling his strings? Let's not forget the bigger picture here. Diddy didn't operate in a vacuum. He had partners. He had investors. He had people who benefited from his success and who might have benefited from his silence. And if Deal's right, if there really is a check, if there really are records that prove Diddy knew what was coming, then we're not just talking about one man's downfall. We're talking about an entire system that let it happen. We're talking about people who knew the truth and stayed quiet. We're talking about an industry that spent decades burying its darkest secrets. And that brings us back to 50 Cent, because if there's one thing we know about him, it's that he doesn't play it safe. He's not the type to hold back. He's not the type to let someone else control the narrative. So why would he suddenly get cautious? Why would he leave the most explosive evidence on the cutting room floor? Deal's theory is that 50 Cent was pressured, that someone, maybe Netflix, maybe Diddy's legal team, maybe someone even bigger, made it clear that some lines shouldn't be crossed. But here's the thing about 50 Cent. He's not afraid of a fight. He's not afraid of consequences. So if he's holding back now, it's not because he's scared. It's because he's being played. And that's where we are now. A former bodyguard with a story to tell, a documentary that might be hiding the truth, $1 million check that could rewrite history, and a man in prison who might finally be running out of people to protect him. Because here's the thing about the truth. It has a way of coming out. No matter how hard you try to bury it, no matter how many people you pay to stay silent, no matter how many documents you destroy, eventually, someone talks. Eventually, the evidence surfaces. Eventually, the world finds out. So, where does this leave us? With a man in prison, a documentary that might be a cover-up, and a bodyguard who says he's got the receipts. The only question left is simple. Who's afraid of what Gene Deal knows? And what happens when he starts talking?
Does that give you any closure? Or, what does that do for you? To see that, because I can imagine it could be very conflicting.
Yeah, because I don't champion putting young black men in jail,
Right.
Jail period. That ain't, but,
Because let's be real, this isn't just about Diddy anymore. This is about the people who helped him, the people who stayed silent, the people who turned a blind eye. And if Deal's telling the truth, then the real reckoning isn't just for Diddy, it's for everyone who let this happen. So here's what we need to ask ourselves. How many more secrets are out there? How many more people knew the truth and stayed quiet? And most importantly, what happens when the next whistleblower steps forward? Because one thing's for sure, this story isn't over, not by a long shot. And if Gene Deal's right, then the next chapter isn't just going to be explosive, it's going to be historic. So tell us, what do you think is really going on here? Who's protecting Diddy?
In 1990, a guy from Harlem, New York named Sean Combs would become an intern for Uptown Records. Eventually, he would be fired from Uptown Records, so in 1993, Combs, who was known as Puffy at the time, would establish his own label called Bad Boy Records. Puffy would appoint up-and-coming rapper The Notorious B.I.G. as the label's flagship artist. Puffy also signed artists like Craig Mack, Carl Thomas, Faith Evans, and more. On September 13th, 1994, the Notorious B.I.G. dropped his debut album Ready to Die, and Puffy's label was off to an incredible start. Puffy would go on to have a very successful label throughout the 90s. During this time, a rapper in South Jamaica, Queens named 50 Cent would begin pursuing his rap career, and in 1998, 50 Cent signed a deal with Columbia Records and began the rollout of his debut album, Power of the Dollar. In 1999, 50 realized that his release date was getting closer and closer, and his album had no buzz, so 50 came up with a plan. 50 decided to drop a diss track on the entire industry, dissing literally everyone, and on August 10th, 1999, 50 Cent dropped his debut commercial single, How to Rob, dissing everyone. On this track would be where 50 Cent would take the first official jab at Puffy when he threatened to take Puffy's girlfriend at the time, Kim Porter, when he said this.
I snatched Kim, tell Puff you wanna see her again, then jazz down to the nearest ATM.
Puffy wouldn't take offense to this since this record wasn't really intended to offend, but rather gain buzz and attention of 50 Cent. Eventually, 50's album Power of the Dollar was shelved due to him being dropped from Columbia after being shot 9 times in the summer of 2000 in light of his beef with Kenneth Supreme. In 2001, 50 Cent was getting back into writing music, and according to 50, Jennifer Lopez actually told Diddy that he should get 50 to write music for him, so that's exactly what Diddy did. During this time, one of Diddy's bad boy artists named G Depp was gearing up to drop his debut album, Child of the Ghetto. On July 10th, 2001, G Depp dropped a track called Let's Get It featuring Black Rob and Puffy. 50 claims that he actually wrote the hook and Diddy's verse on this track.
Make this money, take this money. Ain't no way you can take this from me. Ain't funny.
Look, the first time I came back to write music, after I got shot, right? I got shot May 24th, 2000, right? The first time I came back was because Jennifer Lopez told Puffy he should have me come back to write music with him. I came back. Puffy had a song, it used to go, make this money, take this money. Ain't no way you could take this from me. They get money. Let's get it. That don't feel like 50?
In 2002, 50 Cent would make his return to making music, releasing mixtapes independently to gain buzz. On April 26, 2002, 50 dropped his debut mixtape, Guess Who's Back, which instantly made him the hottest free agent in rap. On this mixtape is a track called Get Out the Club, and on this track, 50 would take a jab at Diddy when he referred to Diddy as a trick.
They want me to trick. I ain't P. Diddy, bitch.
On June 1st, 2002, 50 Cent followed up with his mixtape 50 Cent is the Future featuring G-Unit, and at this point, 50 Cent was the hottest up-and-coming rapper off of mixtapes. According to Tony Yayo in an interview with Vlad, Diddy was actually interested in signing 50 Cent to Bad Boy, but would back out of the deal due to his beef with Supreme, Ja Rule, and others from New York.
50 went to Diddy. 50 went to Diddy. We went to, for Bad Boy. A lot of people don't know that. We had the meeting, and it was so crazy that Diddy didn't sign him. I know that was one of the biggest mistakes of Bad Boy.
50 Cent ended up signing with Shady Records in summer 2002. Later that summer, on August 1st, 2002, 50 and G-Unit dropped their mixtape No Mercy, No Fear, and the track Part 2 and Bump Heads is a huge shot at Puffy. Back in 2001, 50 Cent actually appeared on the Trackmasters remix to Jennifer Lopez's song I'm Gonna Be Alright. 50 was eventually replaced with Nas due to the bad press surrounding 50 Cent after his shooting, but this version would appear on the remix version of J-Lo's album J to the L.O. During this time, Puffy and Jennifer Lopez were involved in a relationship in 2001, but in 2002 it would end. The first beat on the track was the beat to Puffy's track I Need a Girl, which was basically Puffy reflecting on his relationship with J-Lo, so 50 spit his verse from the track he did with Jennifer Lopez while rapping over the Puffy beat. After the first verse, 50 would take the time to clown Puffy about making records about J-Lo.
Yeah. Hey Puffy, man, stop making you I Miss J-Lo records.
On November 4, 2003, G-Unit dropped their track Poppin' Them Thangs. And on this track, he references the altercation between Puffy and Steve Stout in 1999, where Puffy assaulted him with a phone and champagne bottle. Stout would sue Puffy, but after the case was settled outside of court, they were friends again.
After the VMAs, my baby mama cussed my out. I kicked the ass, we back friends like Puffy and Steve Stout.
The 2003 MTV Video Music Awards was hosted by Diddy, and he presented the VMA for Best Rap Video to 50 Cent for In Da Club winning. On January 7, 2005, 50 Cent dropped the G-Unit Radio Part 10 2050 Before the Massacre mixtape. On this was a track called I Run NY featuring Tony Yayo, which was a diss towards Jadakiss and the Lox during their beef. 50 mentions Puffy at the end of the track because Puffy owned Jada's publishing.
Hey, get Puffy on the phone. Tell him I said, tell Puffy I said, get out the mirror for a second, let me talk to him.
The next year, on September 5th, 2006, 50 Cent dropped the G-Unit Radio Part 22 Hip Hop Is Dead mixtape, and this mixtape was primarily dedicated to dissing Puffy.
And rest in peace to the man, Puff Daddy. Can you hang with me?
Coast.
Who shot Biggie Smalls? We don't get them, they gon' kill us all. Man, Puffy know who hit that nigga, man, that nigga soft. He scared them boys from the west side to break them off. Jump on his ass so we run the hall and shake him off. Turn that shit off, man. I'm not in the mood for that right now. Play some of Puffy new shit.
I make miracles like I walk
Turn
on
that
water.
shit off.
What
I'm
you
not
want,
in the mood
mama?
for that right now. Cause it's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? You think the nigga Puffy like me a little bit? You think somewhere deep down inside he like to be like me a little bit? Maybe just a
Little bit. Maybe just a little bit.
Skincare brand Proactive in early 2006.
I get comfy, then I lean on him, put that beam on him. You probably heard Mace tried to join the team. His pup was too busy selling pimple cream.
Y'all know damn well that Lindsay Lohan and Jessica Simpson was not using no Proactive. So Diddy wore Proactive. Now, y'all into skincare products. Now y'all think it's official. Well, I got a secret. I was up on Proactive for 7 years. That's why I got the silky smooth cocoa butter skin. So Lindsay, Jessica, you're late. You should have followed my pretty from the beginning. But now you're late.
The next year, on September 8th, 2007, 50 hosted a party at the Hard Rock in Las Vegas and was photographed with Diddy. On September 11th, 2007, 50 Cent dropped his album Curtis, and on the track called Fully Loaded Clip, 50 would diss Puffy and Kim Porter on the hook.
But Puffy was telling Kim, I love you, boo. I was shining my 9, you know how I do.
On this album was, of course, the hit track I Get Money. On the album appeared a Forbes 123 remix of I Get Money featuring Jay-Z and Diddy, due to all three claiming the first 3 spots in the first ever Forbes Hip Hop Cash Kings list. That year, 50 Cent and Diddy performed on stage together alongside Kanye West and Jay-Z at the 2007 Screamfest at MSG. After this, it seemed as if 50 and Diddy were finally on good terms again. In 2009, 50 Cent was engaged in a beef with Rick Ross. And on November 6, 2009, 50 Cent took Rick Ross's son and his baby mama to Floyd Mayweather's mansion in Vegas, to which Diddy would come along with 50. But after this is where 50 Cent and Diddy's friendship would crumble. Fast forward the next year, on January 26, 2010, Diddy and Dirty Money dropped their track Angels Remix featuring Rick Ross. Of course, 50 would get word of this and get pissed, because Diddy is now working with his biggest enemy at the time in Rick Ross. What made matters worse was in April 2010, Rick Ross confirmed that Diddy was now his manager, as the two would begin a long business relationship. Now, if you know 50's mentality, is that if you align yourself with his enemy, then you become his enemy as well. On July 8th, 2010, 50 Cent launched a petition to stop Diddy from further exploiting the catalog of Biggie Small, saying, "Enough is enough. Biggie's name should never have become Diddy's black card." Just check out his latest video, The Ghost of Christopher Wallace. Let Diddy know to let B.I.G. rest in peace. When was the last time Diddy really was bigging up his brother, not bigging up his bank? Fast forward to March 3rd, 2014. 50 Cent took to IG to post a photo of Diddy and Rick Ross looking like they're kissing, and a photo of Diddy and Steve Stout with the caption, "I ain't saying nothing, but something ain't right, LMAO." In 2014, 50 Cent became a minority stakeholder in liquor brand Effin' Vodka. At this time, Diddy was still promoting Ciroc liquor, which he had 50% of the share profits in. 50 Cent was actually slowly trying to take away Ciroc promoters like DJ Envy to be on Team Effin' Vodka instead of Ciroc. In August 2015, heavy Ciroc promoter French Montana was caught on camera saying he likes Effin' Vodka when DJ Spin King, one of 50's Effin' Vodka promoters, posted this video.
Hey, my man's here. He came by.
Shout out to Effin' Vodka. That shit kind of watered down, but I love it.
50 responded with the video on Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, "French Montana is down with us. It's the unit. Puffy tried to set him up. Where's his check at? The real money, Puff. We street, not stupid."
Yo, check this shit out. So, yesterday, French Montana had an in-store up in the Bronx. 10 people showed up. He said, "F this, let me have a drink." Puffy trying to make me go against 50. He set me up.
French Montana responded by dumping a whole box of Effin' Vodka in the garbage.
That's how I feel about your. What the is this?
50 would take to IG to respond with another video captioned, LMAO, Puffy, send them cheesecake. The whole crew soft. Damn.
Yo, I just seen a clip of French Montana throwing bottles of effing in the garbage. You know, Puffy called him like, you said you fucking like this. You fucking, you want your record out, don't you? You fucking dummy. You fucking playing. They fucking putting us out of business, you fucking asshole. You better do something.
In early 2016, 50 Cent posted a skit to his IG alleging that Puffy got Tupac killed. Now keep this in mind because it's gonna come back later.
I told you you can't trust these. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
2 years later, in 2017, 50 Cent sold his stake in Effin' Vodka for a reported $60 million. Fast forward to January 9th, 2018, 50 Cent appeared on The Breakfast Club, where 50 would call out Diddy for allegedly offering to take him shopping at Chris Lighty's wedding and calling Diddy a fruit cup.
Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
But you've been getting out for over a decade. I remember when you said the top feels so much better than the bottom.
Yeah, I've been saying this. Puffy do some like, a little fluffy stuff.
Now you guys are all in some hip hop.
Later that month, on January 18, 2018, Diddy appeared on The Breakfast Club, where he would respond to 50 Cent calling him a fruit cup and his story of Diddy trying to take him shopping.
50 came up here and he was giving you flack for the asking Fab to party. So he'll ask you to play the clip, man. Yeah, play the clip. Go ahead.
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying?
I asked 50 about that, and he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping. Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy.
Yo, why are you and Fif just...
Hey, yo.
Why y'all not...
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with
I don't know why.
With Fif. He loves me. He loves me.
Do y'all really
can't
have
see
a
it?
beef?
I mean, y'all can't see it.
No, we can't see
Y'all
it,
can't
man.
see that he loves me?
But see...
You really, hold on, you really think that's hate? When you really break it down, you've been out here a long time. You know he loves me.
I don't think he like you.
You know he loves me.
I don't think he like you.
Okay.
But why?
Eminem would actually get involved. On September 14th, 2018, Eminem dropped his diss track towards MGK called Kill Shot. On this track, he throws jabs at Diddy, saying that he put out the hit to have Pac killed.
Counts the day you put out the hits, the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out, they got Pac killed.
After that, the beef would go quiet, and in late 2019, 50 Cent would publicly call out Comcast after it was reported that Comcast was dropping stars from their service, which, as you know, 50's show Power was on stars, so this meant lower ratings. Fast forward to November 21st, 2019, Diddy would actually issue a statement about Comcast in the midst of their lawsuit, so 50 would take when he took to Instagram saying, "I'm with Diddy on this. Comcast bugging out. They are racist." In February 2020, 50 Cent did an interview with Rap Radar where he would discuss the situation between Mace and Diddy. At the time, Mace claimed that Diddy refused to sell him back his publishing rights and even claimed that he offered Diddy over $2 million for the catalog. 50 Cent actually took Diddy's side in the situation in his interview with Rap Radar.
Puff through the Grammy speech, Mace say about the publisher. This is just personal shit between the two of them, and those feelings are there because they dealt with each other for years and years and years, right? And the shit is deeper than you can actually see on the surface, and even deeper than what I know. But I met and hung out with both parties. But you look at it and you say, when he's pointing out the publishing shit, he's doing the same shit to the young boys now. Fabio, you know what I'm saying? Like it's there. Yeah. He's done the same shit that they did to you, boy. The f are you crying about some shit that somebody did to you, and you doing it to somebody else? Right. The fuck out of here, man. Right. When they be saying there's a whole lot of gang shit, right? Gang. A whole lot of gang shit going on. You might not even get a record. You gonna not take the money?
That summer on June 11, 2020, 50 Cent appeared on Drink Champs, where he would further clown Diddy and brings up him trying to take him shopping again.
Puff was like, first he was amping him to get style. Then he was like, yo, so when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it. This is Puff. Okay. He telling me we gotta kick it. And he was like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the f this just say? I got the f away from him because I was like, this is wait. He just tell me he'd take me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. But there's just a little fruit pie. It's a fruit pie. It's a fruit pie. Trust me. You see these little weird ass shit like that out there, sitting out there for no reason. Like, you don't see accident bitches will be like kissing niggas. Like that doesn't happen by accident. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Look. Later you gonna find out a little that I be saying be real. Do you understand what I'm saying? Man, listen, I'm trying to tell you the truth. But the truth, sometimes it hurts. Right. It hurts people and they don't want to hear that shit. But I'm trying to tell you, ask me, could he take me shopping? And if because I'm looking like, what? It's just like, I want to take you shopping. I got a bankroll out this mother. I want to take you shopping. Why? Because when you walk around looking so good, I'm going to feel like, God damn it, that with me. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. But when you want to take me shopping, what the f is the matter with this?
Hold on. But where was this at? This was at the wedding.
Right after the wedding.
I'm beefing with Steve Stout, and Puff is telling you he's going to take you shopping.
After the show's over. Swear to God.
Everybody gonna want to be at Chris Lighty wedding, right?
After that, the beef would go quiet, and in April 2021, Diddy was spotted with 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne Joy, and rumors made the rounds that these two were dating. 50 Cent would of course take to Instagram to speak on it, saying, "Nah, me and Puff fight over business shit. If he liked the girl, he liked the girl. I don't give a f." Fast forward to September 2022, 50 Cent would post a photo of him and his son, and in the caption he clowned Diddy and his baby mama, saying, "Oh shit, that's your mommy over there with Puffy, lol. Remember what I told you the other day? These bitches be crazy." Shake my head. In 2023, Keefe D was arrested for being the suspect who murdered Tupac back in 1996. Keefe D later confessed that Diddy actually paid him $1 million to either kill Tupac or Suge Knight. On October 9th, 2023, 50 Cent took to Instagram to call out Diddy for allegedly getting Tupac killed, saying, "Damn, Pac got lined by Brother Love, lol. Time to lawyer up. Shit might get sticky." 2 days later, while on his final lap tour, 50 would call out Diddy live on stage, saying that he doesn't go to Diddy parties and he hates Diddy for killing Tupac. In November 2023 is where things started getting ugly for Diddy. On November 16th, 2023, Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie filed a lawsuit against him, accusing him of R-word and a decade-long pattern of abuse that began when she was 19 years old. Just 1 day after it was filed, the lawsuit would be settled with Cassie, with the rumored amount of the settlement being $30 million. 50 Cent would clown Diddy on Instagram non-stop, with several posts a day, just completely trolling Diddy. 50 even offered to buy Revolt TV amidst all this, saying, "I'll buy that from you, Playboy, for the low, because Cadillac and AT&T gonna pull out. I'll give you a few dollars for it now. Sell it to me, then we could be friends. I'm serious. Call my phone." Charlamagne the God would explain why 50 Cent is a diabolical genius for posting Diddy non-stop and what he thinks 50's motives are behind it.
50, he posts Diddy reportedly takes temporary leave as chairman of Revolt amidst lawsuits. 50 says, "I'll buy that from you, Playboy, for the low because you know Cadillac and AT&T gonna pull out.
Those are the sponsors, I presume?
Yes. I'll give you a few dollars for it now. Sell it to me, then we can be friends. I'm serious. Call my phone. Why do y'all think that was a genius thing to post? And telling people who the sponsors are. So if they want to harass Cadillac and AT&T, that'll happen.
And once the money comes out,
it's a wrap.
In early December, news broke that 50 was developing a documentary on Diddy's assault allegations. On December 6, 2023, Diddy took to IG to speak on the situation, saying, in quotes, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation, and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Sean Diddy Combs." 50 Cent continued his onslaught on Diddy for the remainder of 2023 and into 2024. On March 25th, 2024, it was revealed that Diddy's houses in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by federal agents. 50 Cent, of course, would take to Twitter and Instagram to react to the situation, saying, "Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case." Diddy has yet to officially respond to all of 50 Cent's clowning that he has done. Whether 50 has done all of this for business purposes, it's no secret that 50 Cent never really liked Diddy from the beginning.
The story refused to fade, no matter how much time passed or how many headlines tried to replace it. What began as a documentary involves 50 Cent, and Diddy quickly turned into a storm that rolled across countries and screens, leaving Diddy standing in the center of it, exposed and overwhelmed. Few expected the project to travel so far or hit so hard. It was meant to make noise, but not this kind of noise. It climbed to the top of charts in many nations and settled just beneath the peak in many others. Everywhere people looked, the same conversations were happening. And for Diddy, the damage felt deeper than anything he had faced before. The impact was brutal. The documentary did more harm to Diddy's public image than even the most serious legal trouble he had faced. It spread faster than explanations could follow and lingered longer than apologies ever could. People who had never paid attention before were suddenly watching, replaying, and discussing every moment. The general public, many of whom claimed they had never known these stories before, reacted with shock and anger. For Diddy, there was no escaping the feeling that the ground beneath him had shifted permanently. As the attention grew, 50 Cent stepped forward again, calm but unmistakably threatening. He announced that the documentary was not finished telling its story. There was more footage, more material, and more revelations already filmed. According to 50 Cent, this unseen content was being prepared for release, either online or as an added chapter tied to a major streaming platform. The message was direct and chilling. This was not a rumor or a tease. It was a warning aimed straight at Diddy, and it landed at the worst possible moment. The idea that more footage existed sent a new wave of tension through the air. Diddy had barely begun to recover from the first wave when the second was promised. The unseen material, according to 50 Cent, touched on deeply personal territory and old connections that had never fully been explained. It focused on choices Diddy had made, relationships he had pursued, and motives that many believed were rooted in ego, revenge, and control. The suggestion alone was enough to keep the public talking and keep Diddy under constant scrutiny. At the heart of the narrative were three unnamed figures from Diddy's past, people whose influence and presence had once shaped his world. These figures were described as powerful in their own right, capable of changing the direction of everything around them. According to the story being pushed by 50 Cent, each of these figures represented a threat to Diddy's desire to be number one. They were symbols of talent, attention, and truth that could not be controlled forever. The documentary suggested that Diddy's hunger for dominance was not limited to business. He wanted to be the star, not the shadow. He wanted praise, sympathy, and admiration, even in moments of tragedy. The story painted a picture of someone who understood the power of timing and image, someone who could turn loss into spotlight and grief into applause. The public, watching these claims unfold, began to question moments they had once accepted without doubt. According to 50 Cent, some of these stories have been trimmed or removed to keep the documentary focused and watchable. The original material was far larger, too heavy to fit into a single release. Decisions have been made about what to show and what to hold back. Now, with the response so massive, 50 Cent made it clear that those cut pieces might finally see the light. The pressure on Diddy grew heavier with each passing day. As the narrative widened, people began to wonder if the past was truly finished with Diddy. There was talk of old cases, old questions, and old suspicions that might one day return. Some believed that renewed attention could lead to reopened investigations in the coming years, especially as new evidence continued to surface. Whether or not anything would come of it legally, the court of public opinion had already reached its own conclusions. For Diddy, the timing could not have been worse. Just as he believed the worst might be behind him, the documentary reignited every doubt. No public relations team could calm the situation. No carefully crafted statement could undo the images and stories already circulating. The more people watched, the more they talked, and the more they questioned what they thought they knew. The discussion did not stop with the documentary alone. Old video clips involving Diddy resurfaced and spread rapidly, gathering tens of millions of views, spelled out as 10 million and climbing. In these clips, viewers saw behavior that many described as controlling and unsettling. The footage showed Diddy asserting dominance, testing boundaries, and reminding others of his power. For critics, it felt like confirmation of everything the documentary suggested. These moments fed into a larger narrative about control and possession. According to the commentary surrounding the clips, Diddy was portrayed as someone who viewed people not as equals, but as tools. The idea was that power came from taking what others valued most, whether that was loyalty, respect, or relationships. This behavior, repeated over years, painted a troubling pattern that many found impossible to ignore. 50 Cent did not shy away from pushing this angle further. By sharing additional commentary and old interviews, he encouraged viewers to look beyond surface-level success and question the cost of that power. He suggested that fear and silence played a major role in keeping certain stories buried. According to this view, people changed their tone not because they believed differently, but because pressure forced them to. The documentary footage also hinted at how influence was maintained behind closed doors. There were suggestions of intimidation, of secrets used as leverage, and of loyalty enforced through fear. While much of this remained in the realm of allegation and belief, the sheer volume of discussion made it impossible to dismiss entirely. For many watching, the pattern felt too consistent to ignore. As all of this unfolded, 50 Cent remained steady, almost amused by the chaos his work had caused. He treated the situation like a long game, one where patience mattered more than speed. When gestures from Diddy appeared, symbolic or otherwise, 50 Cent responded not with retreat, but with escalation. To him, it was a challenge accepted, a signal that the truth, or at least his version of it, would keep coming. What made the situation even more intense was the belief that Diddy thought these chapters were already closed. According to 50 Cent, Diddy had moved on, confident that time had erased the danger. The documentary shattered that belief. It reopened conversations that many assumed were finished and reminded everyone that history has a way of returning when least expected. Public reaction only fueled the fire. Viewers expressed disbelief that they had not known these stories before. Many admitted that the documentary changed how they saw Diddy entirely. The demand for more information grew louder, and with it came calls for deeper exploration of the past. People wanted answers, context, and accountability. As the days passed, one thing became clear. This was no longer just a documentary. It was a reckoning. For Diddy, every headline felt like another weight added to his shoulders. For 50 Cent, it was proof of impact, evidence that the story mattered and that people were listening.
Yeah. You see it, you heard it. We broke it down, we repackaged it up, we ship it out accordingly. The war in hip hop, 50 Cent versus Diddy. You see it, we got in depth. You see where it started from. Well, we know what it really started from, but we hear from other different perspectives of how it happened, why 50 feel this way, why he's coming at Diddy and why Diddy's doing what he's doing against 50. So we most definitely gonna continue to drop the content. Any news, information progress out of, we're on it. This is the channel where you want all the latest in sports, news, and hip hop. We got it all. We package it, we break it down, repackage it, ship it out accordingly. This is the channel where you need to be at, for sure. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Most definitely. The War in Hip Hop series. 50 versus Diddy. Was 50 wrong or was he right for dropping the Diddy documentary? And what do y'all think about it? Hit the comments. Let me know. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure you hit that bell icon. That's the notification bell that alert you all content. Once I drop it and hit my YouTube channel that hit your devices, make sure you hit that thumbs up, that aka the like button. YouTube appreciate that. S.L.R Media TV appreciate them. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.